Hello, out there in Radio Land. You're listening to Coffee and Culture. We're on Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, streaming at santafe.com on Saturdays and then repeated on Sundays just after 2 p.m. My name is Matthew Chase Daniel, as always, and I'm your host every other week. And I'm blessed to be able to pick who I talk to and talk to interesting artists and curators and writers and scientists. And today I'm talking with Daniel McCoy Jr., who I've known for maybe 10 years or so, on and off. And I always, I don't see him very often, but when I do see him, I'm always thrilled and enjoy chatting with him. And he's an artist and a musician and a father and a husband and a thinker and one thing he does is he's working at the Poe Center, helping run things up there.
Yep, I'm exhibitions manager.
Yeah. So we had our Autumn Chacon traveling radio broadcast thing, and we were up there for a performance outside there, which was beautiful. And Danny, we were lucky enough to have Danny come in and talk with us for a while and play some guitar. And
Yeah, that was a blast.
yeah, we had a lot of fun. And so now he's here, and this will air the day after your opening, but you have a show coming at Hecho on Palace Avenue, just west of the plaza in that first block, next to the New Mexico Museum of Art, kind of next door. And it's landscape paintings called Scenes Along the Rio Grande.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about...
Well, this is about, I think the fifth show I've been able to do with Hecho Mano. We've built a really good sense of teamwork there and kind of friendship and kind of a comfort that, and a formula too with the paintings that I think have attracted a new audience for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also been based around kind of what's gone on these last few years. I've only been doing landscapes for about 6 years. I avoided them for a long time, and once the pandemic went through, we did a lot of hiking.
Mm-hmm.
And I suddenly realized how beautiful New Mexico is. I've always known that, but to look at it in a real artistic eye, and I think a mature eye, and just really trying to replicate nature. And it's just kind of an endless source of inspiration right now. I know it's not going to last forever. There'll be something else, but I really enjoy it, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, it's great to be inspired and follow when something new comes up that you're not expecting, to be able to jump into it and follow it where it goes.
Yes. I was surrounded by some landscape painters, and I used to avoid it. And in college, I'd have professors, we're going to go out and do plein air painting or landscape.
Right.
I'd hate it because I felt like it was a waste of paint.
Uh-huh.
I had all these great ideas instead, and I realized years later how wrong I was.
Right. Why do you think you were resistant to it?
I had these great, I thought they were great ideas at the time.
All ideas are great at first.
And and it took a little while to get that out. But what I started enjoying though was I think maybe receiving the sunshine, the elements. Maybe you heard a bird you haven't heard in a long time, or maybe it was to kind of get outside and get some exercise with the kids because we were indoors.
Right.
And so it kind of became an experience, each one. So each one of these landscapes were attached to a very strong memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the narrative of it. Beforehand, I kind of enjoyed more of a native narrative or a pop narrative or just whatever it was. at the moment. This you could completely free your mind of, and it's just as long as you did your best and followed suit, and you had a limited time to do it.
Yeah.
It kind of made the right balance for me, and it's almost kind of a source of meditation.
Mm-hmm. And there's no figures in them. Or are there?
Sometimes I do
Yeah.
hide figures or maybe a little bit of architecture in there,
Mm-hmm.
but mainly not. I try to pick areas to work from that are untouched,
Yeah.
at least as close as possible.
And do you use photography as part of the process, or?
I do.
Yeah.
Cell phones.
Yeah.
Before cell phones, I couldn't take a photo. I was the guy that ruined the Christmas photo with red eyes or cut somebody's head off. Or,
Uh-huh.
no cell phones. I was able to capture it, but I would notice that cell phones are calibrated to the human eye.
Mm-hmm.
And so you look at what you just took, and the scales are different. Wait a minute, this isn't what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And so that right there kind of challenge. I use it for a loose reference, but I still like to do a rough sketch first and just work from memory.
Yeah. A lot of what I find in cell phone photography is there's all these algorithms that are built into that little machine that optimize it for some programmer's idea of what a good photo is. And if you want to, and I know you can adjust the exposure and the focus, you can adjust it on your cell phone, but the default, which is what almost everyone uses, makes the good photo, and it's not necessarily the way we see.
Well, you think about it, too. Every mammal sees the world differently, or every insect, or every creature. So my son and I were talking, and he's like, well, what is the real way that the world should be seen? And so from then on, that idea right there is another building block to step on. And so that's kind of my foundation of it, just kind of what the eye sees.
Yeah.
And I try to combine all my artistic influences, which come from flatline Oklahoma painting style, which they have that here, but there's a version of it that I'm pretty much from, and that's kind of the Bacone School area around Muscogee.
Mm-hmm.
I put that in there, pinstriping, cartooning, and then all the wonderful Southwestern influence I've had, and then also the exposure to just all the great art out here, working in the art field. Yeah,
it's a very unique style, and it's representational, but it's certainly not photorealism in any way, and the very flat planes of color, but great sense of movement, and I don't know, I just some of your work, I just see it and I'm like, that's what it really looks like. Even though it's so far from a photograph or capturing something like that. And just this sort of high desert landscape here, as you're saying, going on these hikes with your family, sometimes you just are outside and you're like, the sky is purple.
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen? And then the green of the pinon trees makes the sky even more purple, and just amazing colors. And
well, it's I don't know if it's in fall time here. You're working with lots of complementary colors, real bright red orange clay against a piercing blue sky, and then you have these long dramatic purple shadows in the fall time and this golden light.
Yeah.
I don't know if I just never noticed it.
Yeah.
But it hit me like lightning a few years ago, and I do get a little tired of it and then want to work something more figurative or maybe work some humor. But I kind of go right back to it, and my goal is to either turn the dial towards realism a bit or maybe break it down to where it's just form and color and almost moving into abstract colorist territory. That seems to be a lot of fun right now, dancing in between there. Just when I think I've kind of wrapped it up on that, here comes some more ideas.
That's great.
And so I'm very fortunate, and so you kind of store things up, and then you can get inspired to knock out 40 paintings really quick or
Great.
something. You know?
We have to go to a break, but we'll be back after some messages, and I'm talking to Daniel McCoy Jr., who has a show at Hecho Mano on Powell Avenue right now. You're back listening to Coffee and Culture, Talk 1260, 103.7 KTRC, streaming at santafe.com. You can also find podcasts of this show or past shows, and in the future, other shows that will be in the past. If you look for Coffee and Culture with Matthew Chase Daniel on, the Spotify, Amazon, YouTube kind of things, or go to my website, which is chasedaniel.com. And my name is Matthew Chase Daniel, and I'm talking to Danny McCoy, and he's got a dulcimer on his lap.
Yep.
And Danny's a very talented painter and a nice guy to hang out with. And also a talented musician. You were playing guitar when I saw you last.
Yes. Pretty much I've been playing instruments and around great music since I was a child. My dad worked security for different bands and things. And also him and my mother just always had a great record collection and friends that were musicians. And so I just naturally gravitated towards it. But yes, I play pretty much anything with strings other than the finer instruments.
Yeah, I got some cello over there.
No.
Anything with strings and frets?
I started out with playing it a clothesline when I was a kid, and then I'd get a guitar.
What do you mean playing a clothesline?
I used to, we had like this nylon string, and I'd put it behind my ear. And kind of pretend it was a bass line.
And you'd put different amount of pressure on it to change the tone a little?
And I would hum like Tom and Jerry, the cartoons. Tom would be singing, serenading
right.
some female cat, And,
right.
And anyway, that I would replicate that. And then I got really into 50s records, and then I had cousins from New York that would visit once a year, and they'd play Ramones and early hip-hop. And I was very fortunate to be around all kinds of sources of music, not to mention traditional native music and church music as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And where did you grew up in rural Oklahoma?
Rural Oklahoma, Bristow, Oklahoma, which is right along Route 66, but pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But I grew up around Muscogee Creek church music, traditional music, and then also having going to parties with my parents. They'd have bands playing. And
what's Muscogee Creek church music as distinct from other church music?
Well, it's based in the Scottish Highland singers from their missionaries. So it's a pretty rare thing, and I never really realized that until recently. And then the Creeks took it over, and I just thought it was a natural kind of... I never really thought about its origins.
Right, because it was what there was.
And so then they have a traditional language up on top of it, and it's more of a chant over a chord. It's kind of a droning, droning crescendo, and so it's so that's kind of why I enjoy the dulcimer. It's a droning instrument as well.
Right.
So,
nice.
So I kind of am interested in those kind of traditional instrumentations, and then my grandparents, they had friends that would play on the porch. It's really kind of the generations before TV really took over everything, and you had a lot of people playing different instruments on the porch to pass the time.
Right.
And so my goal is to have all of the family playing instruments one day instead of their devices and
get them out on the porch.
Yeah.
On the portal.
Yeah.
Nice. Do other members of your family play?
Well, we've got kids singing. I got kids that are hoop dancing. I've got piano players and drummers, and so everything's there for them. I'm just hoping they pick it up and take to it. It's
Nice.
a great way to pass the time.
Yeah.
And to calm yourself down and all that stuff.
Yeah, and playing with others. I play by myself sometimes, and I really enjoy it. But when I was in high school, I played in a little blues band, folk rock, whatever. And it's great getting together with 3 or 4 other people and figuring sounds out.
Oh, it's a diplomatic way to communicate. And if you learn how to communicate music with others, and it's probably it's a connection that won't go away.
Yeah.
You can still say you can see one of your, I haven't seen my old bass player in 20 years. You can talk to him and pick up right where the music gives you a more inside connection.
Yeah.
I believe.
Do you listen to music when you paint?
Yes, it feeds into each other. All your favorite records, all your favorite stuff.
Do you play the same music over and over and over?
I have certain records that tap into certain things.
Yeah.
Like Miles Davis records will make you go a certain way.
Right.
Play the band, it's nostalgic or something. Yeah, oh yes. I got certain records for certain gears.
Yeah. I was hearing something on the radio, and it was an interview, and that someone was talking about how if you listen to the same record or song or recording or whatever music over and over and over, it changes somewhat of the neurology in your brain and your nervous system. And then when you play that music again later, those pathways open up, and it sort of influences the way you think and work and stuff, which makes so much sense to me because there's like 2 Van Morrison records that Feed and Fleece and Astral Weeks. I can just listen to them 100 times in a row while I'm working on something, and I'm not really focusing on them, but they're pulling me into this space.
I totally understand that. I have records that I put on to make me realize what the original point was, and it can transport you right back to that maybe moment of innocence where you go, aha, oh, that's what I want to do. Oh, that's what this is about. And I definitely can understand that.
Yeah, and I think music I was hanging out with Godfrey Reggio, who's a filmmaker guy here in town, old guy now, yesterday actually, and he was saying that all his films, there's no words really, very few words in any of the films and in any of the music because the music itself has this sort of pathway into your soul or into your consciousness that words don't. Words are interpreted through our brains, and music less so. I don't know if that's true. But.
What's the first song you remember?
The first song I heard as a
that you can early remember that takes that back to you.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's like lullabies that I can think of, but those I'm not sure were the first ones. I think my mother played Bob Dylan album. I was born in '65, and so he had already recorded a couple albums, but every time a new album came out, she would just play it over and over and over and over for months or years.
Yeah.
So early and mid Bob Dylan stuff, I know like every lyric and every note and everything, and the band and that stuff is sort of my foundational music.
Back to the Island or Lady Blue by Leon Russell. Something when I would hear those songs, I'd go, God, what is it? I feel like I've been listening to it my whole life.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at the release date. It was the month and year I was born.
Yeah.
I probably sat in a bassinet next to it. You
right.
know? And I had to play. My parents played things over and over.
Yeah. I hope you understand. I just have to get back to the island.
Oh yeah, that's so. That one's like it's like a spiritual hymn at this point.
Yeah. And he's from Oklahoma.
Yes, I think a couple of years older than my dad, and they went to school together.
Oh.
And so he was kind of a hero. And
was your dad from Oklahoma?
Yeah, from Tulsa. He went all around traveling, but based in Tulsa. So that's where I'm from.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So.
Nice. We got to go to another break. We'll be back in just a minute with Daniel McCoy Jr. You're back listening to Coffee and Culture. My name's Matthew Chase Daniel. I'm your host this week, and I'm talking with Daniel McCoy Jr. Has a show that's up until September 1st at Hecho Mano Gallery on Palace Avenue, just right west of the plaza. And it's a very nice gallery there. I really like Frank Rose, who runs that, and the other people who run that. And it's a nice combination. I guess in galleries in Santa Fe, there's galleries and museums, and galleries have to sell work to stay open and support the artists, and museums don't have to sell work so much. And sometimes it feels like the galleries are going too far towards the commercial stuff, and sometimes the museums feel like they're going too far towards the avant-garde, non-comprehensible stuff. And I feel like there's a few places, and Hecho Mano is one, that sort of finds that sweet spot in the middle of really supporting the artists and their creativity, and also really selling work in a way that supports the artist and supports the continuation of the gallery space. And I'm really happy that Frank and his team have been able to make that work.
Yeah, I'm happy to be part of that roster there, and slowly as the years go by, all the artists that are on the roster have slowly become my favorite artist. Then I get to meet these artists, and they know this friend, and they know this artist over there, and then it becomes more family-like. And I really am just very grateful to be a part of it, because for years in Santa Fe, you're kind of always looking for the place that kind of stood out, and that was doing a bit more cutting edge work than kind of the predicted path, I would say. And where's that fine balance between artistic statement and then trying to, be able to have a successful retail experience as well. And that's always, it's never predictable. It's never the same thing twice. Yeah. Just when you think, this is the best idea ever, it'll go over very poorly, and so that's with Frank. We've tried some pretty out there, wild ideas, and he's never said, "No, you can't do this. Let's try it." And Martha, Nika, Frank, we have a really good. We kind of huddle together, discuss things. What was, hey, this went over really well. Hey, people said that. So it's kind of an encouragement. We kind of go back and forth and discuss kind of the game plan beforehand and have a loose framework. And then it's kind of turned into this yearly cycle of producing work. And I'm just very grateful. Yeah. Very grateful.
And that space he has there now is great on Palace Avenue. Big, high ceiling space, and that wonderful sort of plate glass window in the front where he puts up installations that different artists he works with do there, and that's a wonderful
every month
little venue.
A new window. And I've had very personal installations, sometimes very fun stuff where I use Allsup's characters and
hot sauce man.
Yeah, the hot sauce stuff that'll go over good. So it's never the same thing twice, and so I encourage everyone to go by and check out the window, and you never know what's going on.
Yeah,
some neat stuff.
My friend Jerry Wellman, who I run Axel with, is going to be doing a window there sometime soon, I think.
Yeah, I love Jerry's work, and what he did last year at the gallery was great, so I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, he's always got something interesting in his head, and it comes out in all sorts of ways. So that's scenes along the Rio Grande.
Yep. It's about 19 is the goal.
19 paintings.
19 new paintings.
Wow, that's great.
Done rather just in a row. So started on it a few months ago, and you kind of get going on it, And so it's 19 new ones. Hopefully, might have one that's a little late. But other than that, it's new pieces, new color combinations, and it's kind of moving. It started out being very photograph based. Now it's very just imagination, using things from memory, trying to incorporate sounds and moods by color and
Nice.
form. Yeah.
And along the Rio Grande, you live up in La Masia, and are you near the river?
Yeah, I can't see it, but I can hear it run at night.
Oh, that's
And
great.
so I live all along, and I find that it's interesting that, there's always been activity in that area because of that river. And we're right up on top of the water table on a prehistoric riverbed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very unique place for me to live, coming from Oklahoma. And, the water table's right underneath, and it kind of really is the life force of that area. And I have my friends live all up and down it on either side of it. And it's just really interesting for me that I've gravitated towards that area. I never thought in a million years I'd be, much less creating art, but raising a family there and seeing the sights. And so I live in connection with the season changes more so than living in the city.
Yeah.
And it really controls what I do, how far I can do it. I'm kind of back to, my wife and I are back to connecting with nature after years of being urban natives.
Yeah.
And
you've been in this area in Santa Fe and around here for...
32 years.
Uh-huh.
I'll leave for a little bit, and then I'll come back. And
Yeah.
it's people I miss, the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were very young. You were 17 or so when you came to IAIA?
I was 17. I was the youngest student at IAIA.
Mm-hmm.
I came right out of boarding school from Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Went to Sequoia Indian School, and I had a teacher named Mary Adair that was like, "No, you're going to go."
Mm-hmm.
And so I went from rather quickly drawing at my drawing table at the house, wondering how I could get my very beginner paintings even seen, to being in shows rather quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And at IAIA, we had lots of pop-up shows. I had friends that showed me how to hustle art down at the plaza, and it turned in. I really accelerated not only learning the fundamentals in school, but also how to get your work seen, who to know, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. School can be important for learning all of that too. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's about, I moved here in 1990 or so just a little bit before that. But I was a few years older. I think I'm about 10 years older than you. Still.
I bet we rubbed elbows, though. The thing about the campus then was we were on the Indian School campus and then on the College of Santa Fe campus.
Mm-hmm.
And combining with those schools and seeing all their different culture, for me, just coming straight from Oklahoma, out in the middle of the country, and seeing like kids that were into certain kind of punk rock music, meeting DJs. I remember there was it was just kind of a big stew pot, and they'd have free concerts out at the quad, and so it was a big change for me.
Yeah.
And to get everybody's influences as well, it was an overload, a sensory overload.
Yeah, and Santa Fe still is.
Yes.
I mean, Santa Fe is such a sort of center for contemporary art in the world and in America, and especially for, indigenous contemporary art, whatever that term means. But through IAI and through the galleries and museums, it's become such a fertile ground for artists from all over North America coming here and learning from each other and influencing each other and spreading their work around.
And then that ties into other hubs, and I don't know, it's just ongoing, and there was kind of a sense of urgency by my teachers in Oklahoma, like, you have to go record this, you have to go out and do this, and And it was almost a sense of like native art was dying, but no, that's not the case at all.
No.
There's some the voice is going to keep going, and so I'm glad I've made my little part in it, and hopefully it's enough to continue on.
Yeah, we got to go to our last break, and we'll be right back with Danny McCoy. You're back listening to Coffee and Culture, Talk 1260, 1037 KTRC, streaming at santafe.com. And you can find past podcasts at chasedaniel.com or look up Coffee and Culture with Matthew Chase Daniel on most any podcast platform. And Danny's going to play some music for us, maybe.
Yeah. Again, I have a dulcimer here. It's a cheaper one, but I want to dedicate this song, which is called Doncia and Taniki, which is Shoshone and Muscogee for mountain flower and thunder. And that kind of describes my two youngest children, Levon and Fia. Sister and brother, they make quite a rumble. So this is just a loose melody that I've been working on for a few years. And I'd like to dedicate this to Gilbert Parra, his relative that gave me this dulcimer years ago. And I want to thank him for passing the gift on. So kind of starts out like this a little bit. Okay, that's the short version.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love how the dulcimer has such a full sound without, as someone who plays guitar poorly, I can appreciate, like you're fretting one string at a time, basically, this one or that one, and but playing these chords and melodies and stuff. It's a great setup.
You can do very complex jazz chords on this, but I tend to just make it more of a drone.
Mm-hmm.
Now I am kind of setting in an area where I can't do the chords as easy.
Right.
But
Armchairs.
but it's okay. I did the simplified version, but I like the symphony, and you can't play a wrong note on it. So it's like more of an Irish lullaby.
I see. So it's not all 12 notes aren't there on the frets. It's already.
It's already in key and D-A-D. So
mm-hmm.
So you can't play a wrong note. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And don't let anybody know that.
But it's not like we're on the radio or anything.
But there's some really interesting chords, and I feel like even after I'm just beginning,
Yeah.
But it's a great way to kill the time. I calm myself down. Maybe when I have a painter's block,
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit and play this and stare at what I'm working on, and
Yeah.
then the ideas will come.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to break those cycles of thought. Sleep does it really well.
Yes. Yes.
Wake up in the morning. I figured it
There
out.
we go. Right.
Yeah.
A good meal and sleep, and so, and then also it's small enough. You can take it just about anywhere. But I started using it with just different things, different projects. We'd have like, say, a puppet band or something in town, or some, and other friends had, oh, I have a mandolin that will accompany that, and so it's just a really good accompaniment instrument. I think it brightens the song a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and we could all use a little bit more positivity and a little bit more sunshine. But I don't know, it's really helpful for me.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. I always Allen Ginsberg, who you probably know who that is,
Yes.
beat poet, played the harmonium, which is an Indian sort of keyboard instrument, but it's basically it's the piano version of this. It is to the piano what this is to the guitar. It's a
Harmonium.
drone, and it's a bellows thing, sort of like an accordion. It's a box, and you push this back and forth. And he would sing. He would write lyrics, sort of. You could call them poems, or you could call them songs, simple songs, and sing and play that. And it's just, I always adored that.
Is so that must be. I've seen and I've never known what that instrument is.
Yeah,
So always learning. So that's a new one.
yeah. Look it up. Yeah, I think you can find on YouTube or something. Allen Ginsberg. I think he made an album of some of that.
I've been trying to find a hurdy-gurdy.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
And what is that? That's you crank it.
Yeah.
And does it have a
It
keyboard?
has a little small key system as well, but it's a drone. So I'm really interested in this kind of acoustical drone and what you can do with it. A lot of my friends are kind of, and you kind of it's like plinko, musical plinko, and you'll.
Wait, what's Plinko? I don't know.
It's that's the game on The Price is Right where they
Oh.
drop the coins and you know.
Okay, right.
Anyway, you gravitate towards other people that have like-minded musical taste.
Yeah.
And so, not being I was kind of more of an electrical.
You were in punk
bands, metal bands, rock bands, blues bands, and so now this acoustic side of things is, I'm really enjoying it.
And
So
do you sing too sometimes?
yes. I don't those days. I don't. I would like to be playing in another band again, but. I don't miss hauling amps and guitars and drums and all that up and down steps.
Yeah, staying out late.
I've got somewhere to be after 8:30 nowadays.
That's right. You got a full life going on.
Yeah. So that's a big part of it, and then it's finding new ways to light up your musical interest. Like I said. I would perform in different puppet bands, and that would be we'd all huddle together, and I made some of the greatest songs I've ever heard, and none of us could remember what we did.
It was just all improvised along with the puppetry.
Why aren't we recording this? You know, so
that's
so
great.
there's a lot of that, and I hope now that things have the biennial's over, and once this show, I can huddle together with my friends this fall.
Yeah. Were you part of installing it at site this year?
Well, not as much as I would have wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
because I had to I was stretched a little thin, but I helped Minerva Cuevas with the mural for a little bit, and then helped kind of wrap it up and be part of that project. And
is that the mural in the courtyard in the back? Yeah,
yes,
that's great.
What a wonderful artist she was, very delightful, and plus the team at Site Santa Fe is always just recharges my batteries.
Yeah.
What a hotbed of talent there.
Yeah, and we only have a minute left, but I was reading a little bit about that you used to work as a sign painter for years.
Yes, I worked as a sign painter. I kind of, what I didn't learn in art school, I kind of learned that, and I was good at painting food. Not so much portraits or big trucks, but I was good at reflective lettering and airbrushing cheeseburgers and tomatoes and I loved it. And,
Yeah. And that is something that doesn't exist as much as it used
no,
to.
by late 90s, computer printing and design just completely took that over.
Right.
Now that's even taken over by LED design and
Right.
things like that. But I was very fortunate in learning the hands-on approach.
Yeah. And I imagine there's a cross influence with your painting too.
Oh yeah,
and all of those skills.
all the old sign. If they would ever go see a show, I'd hope they would be impressed.
Yeah.
On the line quality and the opaqueness,
Right.
all the technical stuff. I hope they would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
All that's right in the genetics.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Daniel McCoy Jr. Everyone out there, go see his show up through all of August at Hecho Mano on Palace Avenue. So thank you so much for coming out here and spending the time with me.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew. It's a pleasure. Appreciate it.